Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back with another video for you here today, and you guys have been leaving me comments for the last few weeks telling me to look up this game called T3 Arena. Now, if you've never heard of this game, it's essentially like Overwatch on mobile. Now, there's some obvious differences. The first and foremost, and the most obvious one, is that this is a third-person shooter, and Overwatch is of course a first-person shooter. But they do share a lot of gameplay similarities. One thing that Overwatch fans are going to notice immediately is that there are unique heroes that you're going to go ahead and control, and all of these unique heroes have their own special abilities. They all have their own unique playstyles, and they all have basically an ability and an ultimate ability. It's very similar to how it works in Overwatch, where you have different characters that fit different roles in their team, and they all have their own unique abilities to use. So for anyone who's ever played a hero shooter such as Overwatch or Paladins or even something like Team Fortress 2, well then this concept is going to feel very familiar. Another thing that's going to feel very familiar are the game modes. Now right now in this video I'm playing Team Deathmatch, however there are a couple of other competitive modes such as Control and Payload Race, which are going to also feel very familiar to the two main modes in Overwatch. Now obviously all of the stuff that we're mentioning about this game seems very similar to Overwatch, and it's one of the reasons why people have been so excited about this game. It feels a lot like Overwatch and it works pretty much the same way, however it does still have its own unique flair to it. Obviously it has a very unique art style, the hero design specifically is very unique, and it is a third-person shooter, meaning that it does control differently than what we expect in Overwatch. So it's something that is very familiar, so for those fans of those type of games, it's going to feel very familiar and very fun to play. However, it still does have that own unique flair that makes it worth playing on its own. Now that you guys know a little bit more about the game and what you can expect from it, I want to go ahead and give some information as to how you can actually play it. If you're on Android, it's going to be pretty simple. You just need to go to the TapTap page and go ahead and download it. And if you're on the iOS platform, it's going to be a little bit different. Before we show you guys how, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Warren, who let me know on Twitter that the T3 Arena page did go ahead and release this information. Basically, they went ahead and said that the iOS test flight program was now available. However, there is a catch. It is available, but the server is specifically for North America. So if you're in North America and you're on iOS like myself, then this is great news. So if you want to go ahead and download T3 Arena with Test Flight, you're going to have to go ahead and head over to the App Store first and then download the Test Flight app. For those of you that don't know, the Test Flight app is basically just a beta testing app that developers can use to test their games early and invite specific people to go ahead and test it. Once you have the Test Flight app downloaded, you're basically just going to go to the official page, and it's going to essentially give you the instructions as to how to download it. It's pretty easy and straightforward, and then once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and have access to the T3 Arena app inside of Test Flight. You can go ahead and download it and you'll be able to play. It's pretty simple. It's just an extra step that's needed because of the whole Test Flight thing on iOS and all that, but it's not that hard to set up. And then once that's all done and downloaded, you can pretty much just go ahead and enjoy the game. Now going back to what we can expect with T3 Arena, like we mentioned, just like Overwatch, there are their own unique characters and all of them have their own unique playstyles. They all fit their own specific role, and of course they all have their own unique abilities. So everyone is going to play differently and everyone's going to have a different style of gameplay and stuff. One thing that I wanted to mention is really cool is that you are going to have to go ahead and buy a lot of these heroes to actually play them, but there is a practice option that you can go ahead and try them out first before you actually commit to buying them. I think that this is a really cool little feature, that way you don't end up buying a champion that you might not end up liking. So it'll basically let you go into the training range and then you can go ahead and test them out, see what their abilities are, and see if you even like their gameplay before you actually commit to buying them. It's a pretty cool little feature. It's something that we don't really see often in hero shooters and stuff, but it is nice to have. But those are basically my first impressions of T3 Arena. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this game down in the comments below. I think it's a very unique title and I could definitely see myself playing more of it, especially as someone who is a big fan of Overwatch and who's been wanting something like Overwatch to come to the mobile platform for basically ever. But let me know what you guys are thinking about T3 Arena down in the comments below. Do you guys think this looks like a game that you would actually end up playing, or is this something that's not really your playstyle? Very interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this, but with all of that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.